Your inspiration station, Worship 94.5 FM. Your man RoJay holding it down for you. With my man Kelvin Wooten tonight, and we're just going to let him take over the whole show. He has so much work that I can't really just spotlight it in like a song. So we're going to just continue to do that throughout the show, all right? First, we want to get to know the man just a little bit better. Producer, writer, just does a lot, man. Whoa, what led you down this road and kind of linked you into this world of writing and producing as well as the other things you have going on?
So becoming a music producer was one of the things I didn't necessarily want to do or even know to do. You know, I was just an aspiring musician. You know, I grew up playing in the church. In Huntsville, Alabama, grew up playing jazz clubs in college, and you know, from one thing led to the next. Where networking with some musicians, got me some opportunities to meet some other great producers. One by the name of Raphael Sadiq, and from Tony, he's the lead singer from the group Tony. So got connected with him, and then the rest was history. As far as me wanting to be a producer, yeah, for sure.
So Raphael was your first big placement and first big artist, or someone that just kind of helped you get through the door?
He was my first major producer that I worked with. We started because he started on his path to being a producer as well, and that's kind of right along the time I met him, and so he was the beginning of my career in that sense, yeah. So I started working with a lot of other artists that he was producing, the Bee Gees, Babyface, Whitney Houston, the Isley Brothers, Mary J. Blige. We produced a lot of people, but I also produced for him as well. So
okay, so kind of learn from him in a sense, or did he just low-key help enhance what you already knew coming from the church and the things that you were already doing?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because even as a producer himself and as a musician, his upbringing was the same. He grew up in the church. We grew up in the same type of church, sanctified church, where you almost kind of, as a musician, you have family in there too. He had a large family. But, we grew up in church just learning how to play all of those instruments. So it was really refreshing to see someone at the level that he was at with the same upbringing, and was still very, really connected to those groups.
Now, Huntsville is not quite Atlanta or LA or even New York in most people's eyes, but you make it happen. Now, do you feel being from a smaller town gives you more creative juice, or does it really matter where you're at because you're always going to bring that sauce to the table?
Yeah, me being based in Huntsville is all due to just me wanting to stay grounded and connected to my roots. It's really nothing other than that. I mean, I really can create anywhere, but I would say when I'm in an environment where people know you as who you were before you were who you are, and they just treat you like family. Mom and dad are still in Huntsville, and they treat me like mom and dad. Yeah,
right.
Mom and dad is always, they're gonna always keep you grounded. It's not gonna ever be a thing of, because they're definitely proud of all my accomplishments, probably my biggest cheerleaders. But at the end of the day, the Southern upbringing, something I like to just, it helps me to stay where I am. So creatively, I guess, yeah, in a sense it does help me creatively to just never ever really chase after the music, my major thing is chasing after peace, being in a peaceful mindset, and for me that helps the creativity to flow, for sure.
Listen, it's about to go down in a major way. Kelvin Wooten chilling with me tonight on the Love Offering. I'm letting him take over in a sense. So we're gonna listen to just a few songs from his catalog, and we're gonna talk about each one of those. So I want you guys to stick around with us tonight. So much more on the way right here, your inspiration station, Worship 94.5 FM. Lecrae, Celebrate More right here, your inspiration station, Worship 94.5 FM. My man Kelvin Wooten with the takeover tonight on the Love Offering, and you had a hand in that one. What was the tell me a little bit about this song, or how you linked up with Lecrae to do this song, Celebrate More.
Celebrate More with Lecrae. So I spent a week working with at Reach Records, producer friend of mine, goes by the name of S1, Symbolic One. He produces for everybody, Kanye, Madonna, Jay-Z. He produced Beyonce, some Young Thug, huge hits, huge Drake songs. And so we connected, and he was like, yeah, man, you want to meet me up in Atlanta at Reach, and let's just kind of just kind of collaborative stuff with Lecrae. And so we had did a host of songs for Lecrae's actual album, Restoration, but they chose to put that song on their summer release compilation and Celebrate More was one of those songs that we did in that batch of working for that week.
More on the way with my man Kelvin Wooten with the takeover tonight on the Love Offering. Be sure to keep it locked right here, the Inspiration Station. Worship 94.5 FM. The Inspiration Station, Worship 94.5 FM. Your man RoJay holding it down with my man Kelvin Wooten, writer, producer, all of that extraordinaire. My girl Chrisette Michelle, I feel this is like a hidden gem of hers. It's this The Way Love Feels. It's a dope track. You had your hand in that. Now, tell me a little bit about that experience with working with Chrisette on this record.
So what's crazy, that song was a song that I created as a musical track for myself personally. I was working on a project, and it was one of those songs I had when I had a studio, when I was actually had a studio in the city of Huntsville. I was working there late nights, and it was one of those things. A friend of mine, two friends of mine, Amari Williams, he's a drummer, and Norris Jones, he's from Decatur. And me and Amari are from Huntsville. Amari actually lives out in LA now. But we were just up in the studio late one night, just vibing and creating it. We created that track. My manager at the time somehow got that song to Chrisette Michelle, and she sent back the song, this beautiful song with all the vocals in. It's just, and that started the relationship of me working with her. I really am attached to that song in a lot of ways.
More on the way with my man Kelvin Wooten. Keep it locked right here, your Inspiration Station, Worship 94.5 FM. Anthony Hamilton right here, your Inspiration Station, Worship 94.5 FM. Wooten, you do so much work with my man Anthony, real talk, but this is off his latest album. So tell me about Love is the New Black. What was this process like?
Love is the New Black, yeah. Love is the New Black. It's the title cut off of this album. And this was kind of crazy because this one was produced by me, Cardiac, and a friend of mine, AJ Hall. He's a drummer, so he's a drummer on that song. So again, me and Cardiac always cooking up stuff. But me and Anthony Hamilton's relationship goes all the way back to 2005, 2006 from his first album. I met him working with Raphael Sadiq. He was like, hey man, just come to Charlotte. I'm trying to wrap the album up. Come to see, man, what you think about the album, see if you can add anything to it. I'm like, yeah, for sure. And so I just started playing him some songs that me and Cardiac was working on, and it was, we had like a little batch of soulful songs that, that would be, catered to somebody like Anthony Hamilton. So yeah, he got on top of that. He heard it instantly and instantly started singing Love is the New Black, like right off, within 10 seconds of the song playing. So I said, hey man, go ahead and get in the booth, record that now, and let's hear what that is. And then it, wound up being the title cut off the album.
Listen, we got more Anthony Hamilton gems on the way for sure. Definitely more gems with my man Kelvin Wooten on the way. Be sure to stick around right here. We're not done. It's your Inspiration Station, Worship 94.5 FM. Your Inspiration Station, Worship 94.5 FM. Your man RoJay holding it down with my man Kelvin Wooten, writer, producer, composer, plays instruments. Holding it down, man. Listen, Jill Scott. This record with Jill Scott, So in Love, featuring my man Anthony Hamilton, of course, another of these gems that's in your arsenal. What was this process like? What even happened? How did this transpire?
That song was done in LA. Me and him actually sat together and wrote that song in a studio called The Village in LA. Originally, we did it for another artist, and I'm not going to say who she is. I'm not going to even bring that up, but she passed on a great song. We worked on it, and a friend of mine, Little John Roberts, who's a drummer that I've been knowing for years. He played with Eric Evans, who was a Birmingham native jazz guitarist. And he was just happened to be living in LA at the time. And he was like, hey man, can I put drums on it? I said, yeah, go ahead, put drums on it. And then at the time, we just sent it to Jill Scott to see what she thought. Anthony had wrote his verse and wrote the hook and all that kind of stuff. And then Jill just got on top of it and blessed us. This would have been, now my third song with Jill Scott, because I did a couple other ones with her back in the past. So
always on it, man. Listen, we got more gems coming up with my man Kelvin Wooten to take over tonight right here on the Love Offering. Keep it locked right here, your Inspiration Station, Worship 94.5 FM. My girl JoJo with The Worst I Assume. Real talk. That's probably like one of my most played songs. Period. I know for sure it was my most played song on Tidal in the month of December, but I literally play this song every day, several times a day. So kudos, hats off to you for killing that track. Tell me a little bit about your experience working with JoJo on this record.
Oh, so what's crazy is, again, I'm working with another friend of mine by way of S1. His name is Cardiac. And if you don't know who Cardiac is as a producer, I mean, you just are not even alive and breathing if you listen to R&B. I mean, he produced Damage for her. We also did, some other stuff for her as well that's actually nominated for Grammys this year. But one of the batches of songs that we work constantly throughout the week. I mean, we may do 20 songs a week, me and Cardiac. And Cardiac is based in LA as well. So we work remotely out of my studio in Huntsville. He sends ideas, I send, ideas to him, and we go back and forth. And Worst I Soon was one of those songs that got to JoJo. She wrote to a few of them, but that was one that I think that resonated with her. I was just like ecstatic, man. I was floored when we was finding out it was going to be the first single off of a new album. JoJo's a beast. JoJo's always been a beast. People don't realize how much of a beast she is. She really can go. She really can go.
Definitely. Listen, Kelvin Wooten here with me tonight to take over on The Love Offer, man. We're celebrating our 1-year anniversary right here on Worship 94.5 FM. So I got more on the way. Be sure to keep it locked right here, your inspiration station, Worship 94.5 FM. One of our faves right here on The Love Offering, Her, featuring Chris Brown, will come through. My man Kelvin Wooten, we're doing the takeover tonight. You had your hand in this record as well. So many, and this was a big record of 2021. Tell me a little bit about the process with Come Through with Her and Chris Brown.
Yeah, so Come Through, it's almost I can almost carbon copy the last way when we were talking about Worst I Soon. It came out the same way, working with my friend Cardiac. We worked on a ton of records. Once he locked in and met her, her the artist, he just was like, yo, tell me what kind of stuff you're looking for. Me and my guy WU10 can give you a bunch of stuff, in these veins. So Come Through happened to be one of those songs that he sent me. A lot of the times he sends me stuff, it'll just be just a drum part or just be a drum and a guitar part. And I just do all the other enhancements, add my other music and then we have all these layers of music that can be taken in and taken out. Her fell in love with it. And then Chris Brown was introduced to the song by another producer on the song, Mike Will. And so Mike Will brought Chris Brown in on the song and, made it what it is today. That's one of the songs I'm most proud of. Sure.
So much work, so many gems, man. We're not done. We still got more with my man Kelvin Wooten, so be sure to stick around right here. More love offerings on the way. Your inspiration station, Worship 94.5 FM. My girl Sunshine Anderson with Wear the Crown right here, your inspiration station, 94.5 FM. Listen, Kelvin, I interviewed Sunshine some years ago, and I've been rocking out with her for a while, but some years back, and she was telling me about working with a producer named Kelvin Wooten. And the funny thing is, I didn't even know you were even in my town, but when I was telling her that I was in Huntsville, she's like, yeah, da-da-da. And she had a lot of great things to say about you, and this is one of my favorite records, actually, in her arsenal. I know a lot of people sleep on my girl Sunshine, but she has some gems, and this is one of them, Wear the Crown. So let me know a little bit about the process working with Sunshine Anderson on this track.
Well, that's great. Sunshine Anderson is fam. So Wear the Crown was a joint that me and Raphael Sadiq produced. It was her first time, I want to say it was her first time working with a producer outside of Mike City. She had worked with Mike City for years, and it was like, she's want to try to do some different things. And it just so happens when she called Raphael to work, I just happened to be there at the studio working with him on something else. Connected with Sunshine, and we did that song. And I really feel like she put her foot in that song too. She, that's one of my favorite Sunshine Anderson songs. It's one of them joints that's really stepped on. But, she came to Huntsville too after she found out, who I was, and, got a relationship going. And she started coming to Huntsville, and, I think she came to Huntsville, I can't remember the year, but she came and did a couple songs with me there too. Yeah, Sunshine is family. Sunshine will always be family.
Definitely fam. She holds it down for sure. Listen, we got more on the way with my man Kelvin Wooten, the takeover right here on the Love Offering. Your inspiration station, Worship 94.5 FM. Your inspiration station, Worship 94.5 FM. Your man RoJay holding it down with Kelvin Wooten. Right there, TLC So Dumb. Now, of course, when I was doing my research, I was like, this man has worked with everybody. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. I know you had your hand in this one. You didn't write it, but you played like instruments on it. So tell me a little bit about this process with TLC and So Dumb.
Yeah. TLC, we locked in. So how we were able to lock in with TLC was T-Boz did a song on Raphael's first solo album, Instant Vintage, back in the early 2000, 2001, I think. And this was like right after 9/11. And Raphael spooked out and he drove to Atlanta coming from New York. So I went, and we were supposed to go to LA to start working on Instant Vintage. I drove up from Huntsville, met him, and we locked in with T-Boz. T-Boz did a song on his Instant Vintage. So we kept the relationship with T-Boz and the whole Atlanta crew, because we stayed in Atlanta for a couple of weeks. We just nurtured the relationship, and then they just hit him back and say, hey, let's get you to do some stuff on this album. I think it's a 3D album. And I drove up again from Huntsville to play some keys on that song, and some other stuff too. We did some other songs. I don't think we made the album, but that was one of the ones that did.
We have more on the way right here with my man Kelvin Wooten, the takeover, the Love Offering, your inspiration station, Worship 94.5 FM. Your inspiration station, Worship 94.5 FM. Your man RoJay holding it down for you. It's time to go, man. We've had a great night. My man Kelvin Wooten chilling with me, taking over the Love Offering. We're just playing a lot of his gems and hits. And you can check out a recap if you missed anything on my social media pages, also on my Facebook, RoJay Radio. But listen, I know you're always in the moment, like you really don't take the time to kind of appreciate everything you've done on your journey. And you've had an incredible journey. How often do you sit back and get a chance to just reflect on it? Or do you have to be reminded to do just that?
Yeah, I set a day in my week. It's kind of engrafted into my, spiritual, I would say, DNA. This is just to take some time once a week and always reflect. I'm definitely thankful and grateful. A lot of people from Huntsville, Alabama, of all places, don't get the opportunities to see the things I've seen and work with the people I work with. And I try to make it not be, man, why was I chosen for these things? I try not to make it so much about that, but like just be thankful that I was, and try not to take that for granted. Try not to abuse it, and try to also help other people rise and just be the best that they can be. But it's a weekly thing for me that I'm always reflecting, because I'm just thankful. I'm thankful. I don't, I can tell you, I know tons of people, even in the Huntsville, Alabama area, that I believe are more talented than I am. But I will say to a lot of people, y'all might be more talented than me, but you might not outwork me though. I can definitely not. I'll put the work in, and make up for where the talent doesn't, isn't there. So, and I feel like, just having a great relationship with people and just meeting people and just being nice to everybody everywhere you go. Be nice to the janitor. Be nice to the flight attendant. Be nice to everyone, because you never know who they will be one day. They may wind up being that one person that will help you in the journey, and so I look at it like a journey that I love, a journey that I never really want to end. I don't have a destination. I just, my goal is to always stay on the journey. My journey is over when I'm over.
Once again, I appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. It's been a great night. You guys be sure to connect with us on social media. Download our mobile apps. Check out our website, worship945.com. And I'll see you tomorrow, all right? Remember to love yourself, love one another, and I'll check in with you guys tomorrow right here on the Love Offering, the inspiration station, Worship 94.5 FM.